welcome to the Enterprise World Magazine. Today's guest is a forward-thinking leader in real estate and development, someone who has been instrumental in shaping communities, cities, and experiences that define modern living in the Middle East. As Executive Director at Talat Mustafa Group, one of region's most influential real estate and hospitality powerhouses, he brings together strategy, innovation, and execution to create destinations that not only transform skylines but also reaches lives. Please join me in welcoming one of the most influential business leaders making a difference in 2025, Mr. Mohamed Abudagher. Mohamed ji, thank you so much for joining here with us and welcome to the show.
Thank you, 𝗹𝗏. Do appreciate it, and thank you for the intro. Thank you.
Oh, it's our
pleasure being with you today.
Yes, it is our pleasure to have you with us today. So thank you so much. So let's get started, Mohamed ji. Let's start with your journey now. So what early experiences or influences shaped your mindset and guided you in the real estate and development sector?
Look, it's that's when I was growing up, I've always loved in serving people. I loved seeing others happy, being part of their moments, their memories. That feeling came naturally to me, honestly. And it's not weird because being born and raised in Egypt, hospitality is part of our DNA. We are very hospitable. We welcome guests with warmth and pride, as if they are entering your own home. It's not something we are taught, it's truly who we are in Egypt. Then later in life, when I started traveling abroad, and I'm sure you as well experienced this before, I noticed something special, that feeling when you enter a hotel in a foreign city and somehow you feel at home, you feel connected to this hotel, and you say that whenever I go back to this city, I will definitely stay in this hotel before again. That sense of belonging, that emotional connection, this is what defines the true hospitality. Then my journey has taken me through international hotel groups and strategic advisory roles, where I saw firsthand how design, service, and storytelling, they are all come together to create an emotional value, an emotional connection with the guest, and that's when hospitality becomes an art. And here I said, this is truly inspired me to dedicate my career to creating experiences for people, not just to stay in, but to be part of it, to have this emotionally connected, this emotional value connected with the guest.
That's great. That's amazing. So at what point did you know that your work would go beyond projects and truly create a lasting impact on the cities and communities?
This moment, when you talk about hospitality, this moment when you realize that the hotel is not just a place to stay. It's a place that shapes how people feel, how people connect, and even how people dream. That when the guests, as we highlighted, when the guests decided to return back to your hotel or to return back to the same hotels that have been visited before, it's definitely not just because of the comfort, but because they feel emotionally connected to this place. And that's when hospitality becomes something much deeper than just a stay and service. Then here I understood then that what we create can influence culture, can inspire pride, and even define the identity of the destination. So now if you travel to a foreign city and you have a dinner in a restaurant or stay in the hotel, the way they serve you, the way they offer their services, you consider it as this is the identity of the destination. By having this emotional or this interaction with the location or with the place that you are in, and that's when the hospitality for me became more than a profession. It became a purpose.
That's fantastic. So, leading at Talat Mustafa Group requires vision, resilience, and adaptability. So, what personal values or habits have been most important in helping you grow as a leader?
Okay, I'm sorry, but can you repeat the last part?
Yes. What personal values or habits have been most important in helping you grow as a leader?
All right. Look, for me, leadership in hospitality starts with humility, because you should understand very well, understanding that every experience is built by people for people. And my values, I can tell that I have 3 values that's guiding me on daily basis. I call it simply the 3 C's. It's the clarity, consistency, and curiosity. So, for example, clarity, it gives you the direction. It shows you where you are heading, like knowing why you are doing something before how. Consistency builds the trust from teams, partners, and guests alike. You need to be consistent in what you are delivering. So if it's a service, if it's something you're delivering every day, the consistent is the key of building the trust. And the curiosity, which is the most interesting part that let us feel alive. This is what keeps me evolving. Every new destination, every new trip, every new interaction, it teaches you something about people, about culture, and emotions. And as well, discipline is very important. Like I've also learned from my experience that discipline is not about control. Sometimes people think about it like you have to be disciplined, that you have to take control of what you are doing on every day basis. No, it's not about control. Discipline for me, it's about alignment. So you need to aligning your energy with your purpose.
That's fantastic. So who or what has influenced your leadership style the most? Like whether there have been mentors, philosophies, or experiences that have helped shape your experiences.
Definitely, look, I have been fortunate in my life, honestly, to learn from incredible leaders, from people who works in the top 100 companies worldwide, and these leaders throughout my journey, they didn't just teach me strategy, but taught me a mindset. And one of the biggest influence, not only as a leadership, but in my life overall, is when I was studying under Jack Welch himself in Washington, D.C. And not only for what I learned about business, but from Jack, but about people. You know that Jack had a well-known quote. He always said, like, before you are a leader, success is about growing yourself, but when you become a leader, success is about growing others. And this is really very interesting, and that stayed with me in everything I'm doing, honestly. That leadership for me, to me, is about energy, creating the kind of environment where people feel trusted, feel inspired, and they are proud to contribute to everything they are doing. So that philosophy still guides how I lead today. So for me, it's very, very important that leadership is not a title. It's a responsibility to elevate others. So regardless what your title is, it's a CEO, it's an advisory role, an executive director. The most important thing is not the title, but that you do understand very well that you have a responsibility to elevate others.
That's amazing. So many leaders talk about discipline as the foundation of long-term success. So could you walk us through a day in your life? Like what are the routines or practices that keep you very focused and aligned?
So walking you through a day in my life, it will take longer than the question itself. I'm doing a lot of things during my day, but regarding that, yes, the discipline as the foundation of the long-term success. Yes, I'm strongly believe, and I believe that discipline starts the moment that you wake up in the morning. And for example, for me, the early mornings are sacred. It's when I think, when I plan, I set my energy for the day. This is very important after my cup of coffee, for sure. So this is a very important thing in the morning. So, and I call it before the world wakes. That quiet time is where clarity begins. I reflect, I write, or simply sit in a silence with a cup of coffee. Then my day, every day is different. You cannot say it's the same day every day or another, but I can tell that my days usually it's a blends. It's a blend of strategy, creativity, meeting, reviews, and decision making. It's balanced with moments to think, not just only reacting.
That sounds very productive.
Also, that I also, what's very important during the day and every day is I also value the physical and the mental well-being. This is very important, especially when you work with a lot of projects, you have this fast-paced life. So whether it's through training, reading, or just disconnect for a while, this is really meaningful. And back to the discipline, as I mentioned earlier, that discipline isn't about control, it's about alignment. And aligning your action with your purpose every day, this is the most crucial as a discipline, to have it as a foundation for your day-to-day in what you are doing.
Well said right there. So real estate is really not about just buildings, okay? It is also about people. So yes. How has your sense of purpose evolved, especially in shaping the company's approach to community-driven development?
Look, so hospitality and real estate, it's evolved as everything evolved in our life. I remember in the past that hospitality, yes, it varies from a hotel to another, for example, because the service, for example, 24/7 room service wasn't available in all the hotels. But now, as we evolved, the services became almost the same in each and every hotel. So hospitality has evolved, as we can say, from being a service-focused to being a purpose-driven. I no longer see hotels or residences as properties. I see them more as a living ecosystem. Like today's guests and residents even, they seek connection. They want the spaces that reflect who they are, what they value. So here my purpose has always been to create an environment that makes people feel seen, respected, and inspired. Whether it's you are building a resort, a branded residence, a service apartment, or even a wellness destination, the goal is the same: to build the spaces that care for people as much as people care for them.
That's awesome. So the journey of leadership always comes with challenges, right? So how have you managed setbacks and critical decisions while ensuring the long-term vision remains intact?
If you are mentioning challenges, I can tell that the challenges are part of every meaningful journey for all of us. Nothing comes as easy. It's all full of the challenges. But what really defines us is not the amount of the challenges you are facing, but how you respond to it. This is the most important. I can say, like, there's a lot of things to learn from failure more than to learn from success. Because when you fail, you sit back and you check what went wrong, you try different things. So the amount of learning when you fail is definitely far better to learn from your success itself. And for sure, for all leaders, there were moments that when things didn't go as planned. And those moments taught me more than success ever could. As I said, like, this is the failure that we learn from. But what I learned in my experience is I learned to slow down before reacting, because pressure can make people rush decisions, but leadership require perspective. Like you need to go back and to the purpose, to ask yourself why we started this, what impact we want to create. That clarity becomes the compass during the uncertainty of these challenges. And I have found that the challenge often carry hidden opportunities, like these moments that test your values and the strengths, test your character, test who you are, test your purpose. That's why setting the setback and to ask of the purpose, why we start, what's the impact. This is really important, to have this as a compass during the uncertainty and during the challenge that you are facing.
That's wonderful. So when faced with balancing business growth, sustainability, and ethics, what principles guide your decision making?
Look, I believe that luxury today must also mean responsibility. Growth without conscience doesn't last. Just to be clear, if you have a growth without conscience, it will not last. So, and sustainability and ethics are not trends. They are the foundation of the modern leadership. So, I believe that every decision I make, I try to align three things. I try to align the purpose, people, and the long-term value. Then I ask myself that if this decision only serves one of them, so this is not the right decision. Because true leadership is doing what's right, even when it's not easy or visible. But this is the only way that how legacies are built. So after a time, when you look back at your decisions that you have made, so you will not question yourself twice that I shouldn't do this or I should do that. So whenever you have this in mind and doing the right things, I believe this is how legacies are built. This is how you build your legacy in the leadership profession.
That's insightful. So looking back, if you would give your 20-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
You know that when first you said the question, first thing come to my mind is to tell him to be patient with the process. But you know what? It's I love being in the early 20s, and now when you see this younger generation, how impulsive they react, how exploring different angles of life, exploring different angles of business, how curious they are. I will tell myself at that time, like, stay curious, stay humble, and never lose the joy of serving others. So because that's what keeps you grounded, no matter how far you go. Because success isn't about speed; it's about direction. But no, I will not say like be patient with the process, because you cannot be patient in the process in your early 20s. You are having this impulsive and this eagerness of exploring things. So just be curious and stay humble as much as you can.
That's good advice, right there. So this brings us to the end of segment 1. So we'll quickly move on to the segment 2, which is a rapid fire round. So only one word answers here, Mohamed. One word that defines you as a leader.
One word defines me as a leader. I can tell influence, because true leadership is about control. It's about inspiring beliefs and inspiring actions, taking care of the people, inspiring them. So I would say influence. This is the most that defines me as a leader.
That's fantastic. A daily non-negotiable in your routine.
First, coffee. Then it's my hour before the world wakes. This is really very important. I have to have a silent time in the morning, and this is when clarity turns into influence.
Great. Morning person, morning habit. One misconception about the real estate industry that you would like to correct.
Look, real estate is not just about land. It's really about shaping lives and experience.
Right. A favorite book, mentor, or resource that influenced your thinking?
Jack Welch. Jack Welch, and his favorite, my favorite book of Jack Welch is called The Winning. And this is who taught me leadership in both. It's taught me leadership in both tough and tender. So Jack Welch.
Superb. This question I don't even need to ask you, but I'm going to still go ahead and ask you. Early mornings or late nights? When do you do your best work?
Look, the best work for sure is the early mornings, because this is when the vision needs calm and preparation. But if you ask me early morning or late nights, I will have two answers. I will tell you early mornings in the weekend, or in the weekdays, and late nights in the weekends. So at least you can play hard as much as you work hard.
That's a great answer. If not real estate, which other industry would you explore?
Look, I believe it will be something within the hospitality industry, something where as well you serve people or you create an experience. Because I've found it's an art of care, the experience, the lasting impressions. This is really what drives me.
Your leadership mantra in one sentence.
My leadership mantra, it's influenced by Jack. It's lead people, not projects. Because success follows culture, not spreadsheets. And this is really very important. Like I've been working with owners and investors. At that time, when it's you are investing or entering a new market, you always look about the amount of investment, the spreadsheets, the numbers, and we always overlook the culture, overlook the people. But it's really important to take care of your people, and the people will take care of your business. You have to build the culture and give them the pride and let them passionate about what they are doing and about the idea, about the vision itself.
That's fabulous. So this brings us to the end of the segment 2. So we'll move on to the segment 3, which is leadership in a minute. So Mohamed, what is that one message that you'd like to give to young leaders entering the real estate industry who are very unsure how to start their journey?
Because nowadays, with this fast-paced world of a lot of social media, a lot of things they are reading, they always feel that they are not ready. They are not. There is still things to learn because of what you are looking at on social media every time. A lot of interviews, a lot of podcasts. So there's a lot of info nowadays on providing to young generation. But my advice is start before you feel ready, because there is no perfect moment. Just to start. Real estate, especially real estate and development, reward action, not hesitation. You need to focus on learning, building relationship, and observing how great leaders solve real problems. This is very crucial. You should influence the growth with every step you take, even the small ones. You need to be curious, disciplined, and bold. This is very important. This is how you turn uncertainty to opportunity.
That's cutthroat and wise advice right there. So let's move on to the last and final segment, which is we'll talk about some key trends. So looking ahead, what key trends do you believe will shape real estate, hospitality, and integrated living in 2025 and beyond for markets like the Middle East?
Look, as we are moving towards experiences, not just spaces. Okay. Any of us now, if you are going to buy a new house or to buy an apartment or decided to live, it's not became like before. It's not about the space or the location. Rather, that's more towards the experience. So luxury and hospitality now are converging with real estate. So people now wants more than a place to live. They want communities that inspire them, that connect and provide the well-being. And sustainability will no longer be an optional. it's expected. Now you're expecting that when you are going to live in a place, it's sustainable. So it's not even an option. But we can say that the technology, from smart building to AI-driven operations, this will redefine the efficiency and the personalization of the real estate. And finally, I can say that the integrated living, the combination of work, leisure, and lifestyle within the same community, will be the standard for the next generation or the residents and investors. We build compound, we build cities. Beside you have the corporate offices, the headquarters. Then you do have the well-being, the gyms, the club, the university. So having a live environment, a live community, a vibrant thing, this is really the trend that we are heading to.
That's very holistic view. Mohamed, this brings us to the end of the interview. But before we say our goodbye, I just want to give you a small vote of thanks. So thank you so much for sharing with us your journey today, your vision, your leadership style, and your passion that drives Talhat Mustafa's group is really remarkable. Your story shows us that how discipline, purpose, and innovation can come together to create not just buildings, but thriving communities also. So for all of our Enterprise Viewers magazines, we will be back with such exciting conversations, spotlighting leaders who are shaping the future of business and society right here on the Enterprise World. Thank you so much, Mohamed, and it was lovely meeting and talking to you. We've had a very insightful conversation, and I wish you all the best for your future ahead.
Thank you very much, and I really enjoyed our conversation and the questions you've asked. Thank you, Enterprise World. And look, I've always believed that leadership is not about having spotlight, and it's all about lighting the way for others. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for lighting the way of others. Thank you for this insightful interview, and looking forward for more to come.
Oh, definitely. It's an honor to have you. And yeah, thank you so much for your time and effort. Have a great, lovely weekend ahead.
You too. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.